Hello, my name is Murat. I'm a high school student at TMSA and I'm passionate about engineering and project development. I recently built a calendar app for my local community center to help organize events more efficiently. This app is currently being used by my local community center which serves over 500 members. So before I get started on explaining what the project actually is, I want to first dive into the problem that I was trying to solve. Before I created this website, event coordination at my local community center was messy. People relied on word of mouth, outdated posters, and long event lists. With the month of Ramadan approaching and a lot more events along with it, our event coordination was getting even messier. So I had the idea of creating an easy to use website that would help members of my community navigate their month better. Now, anyone can check updated events instantly, reducing confusion and improving attendance. Currently, 52 people actively use my app each month, and engagement is growing as more community members adopt it. It's only been public for about 2 weeks, so I do expect the usage to increase as more people become aware of it. So here's a little bit about my story and how I actually came to the point of developing this app. So a couple months ago, I first started researching how to build my own website. I wanted to use my existing knowledge of Python and HTML. I discovered Django as a powerful web framework and took a Udemy course to learn the basics. That helped me refine my Python and HTML skills while also improving my CSS. However, I quickly realized that developing a full project with Django from scratch would be a long and tedious process. Around that time, I met a friend who was using a web development tool called Lovable to build a website for his club. After researching a little bit, I realized that Lovable would allow me to develop projects much faster while still giving me flexibility in design and functionality. By using Lovable, I was able to focus on solving the actual problem, which is huge, creating an efficient and accessible calendar for my local community center, rather than spending months on back-end development and physical coding. The platform allowed me to quickly implement key features, streamline the user interface, and launch the app in a much shorter time frame. Without it, this project would have taken significantly longer to complete. So, when I started building the project with Lovable, it generated a solid foundation, a user-friendly interface with an interactive homepage, an event page, and a functionality page. However, the initial version had errors, missing events, and lacked some key features I wanted to include. To improve it, I spent over 10 hours in the following days refining and customizing the app. I made several key changes. First, I brought featured events to the top of the homepage to make important updates more visible. Then, I added a dedicated section for recurring events so users could easily track events happening on a regular basis. I also improved navigation by adding a footer with essential information and reworking the calendar page. Instead of a static display, I made events clickable, made users select a date, a sidebar now appears showing all the events for that day. Once the site was live, I used Google Analytics to track user behavior. I quickly realized that most visitors were using mobile devices, so I went back and optimized the entire application for mobile accessibility, adjusting layouts, resizing elements, and ensuring a smooth experience on smaller screens. This process was more than just coding, it was about responding to real user feedback, analyzing data, and continuously improving the project to make it useful as possible. A big challenge that I faced while developing this application was adding the correct information for each event. Although this may seem basic, and it was the base for the entire application, finding the correct details for every single event, and then working to add functionality to those events, such as linking the location to a Google Maps link, or adding an RSVP link, was difficult to find and tedious. This project taught me a lot about web development. But more importantly, it taught me how to adapt and make efficient decisions. Initially, I wanted to build everything from scratch with Django, but I realized that prioritizing the functionality and user experience was more important than writing every line of code myself. Lovable gave me the flexibility to develop a fully functional app much faster while still allowing for customization and problem solving. Beyond the technical skills, this experience reinforced my passion for engineering and project development. I learned how to take a real-world problem, analyze the needs of a community, and build a solution that people actually use. The ability to bridge technology with real-world impact is what excites me about engineering. As for the future, I plan to continue improving the app based on user feedback, adding new features like event notifications and an easier way for organizers to update events. One of my biggest plans is to integrate projects like the SAT Bootcamp that my community center hosts and integrate that into the website, allowing for an easy payment system using a Stripe payment system to allow for direct payments, streamlining the process for event signups and donations. This is just the beginning, and I look forward to expanding the app's functionality to better serve my community. If you're interested, check out the app in the description, and let me know your thoughts by filling out the feedback form at the bottom of the page. Thank you.